Hello, 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 and welcome to this summit, Against All Odds Summit. And we're talking about the audacity to rebuild. Welcome. How are you doing today? If you are there and you can hear me, let me know in the comment section. Let me know you can hear me loud and clear. Tell me where you're connecting from. How is your Saturday going? How are you feeling on this last day of November? Oh my gosh. Woo! Look at that. When did you just say Happy New Year? And we're about to wrap up the year. So let me know if you can hear me. Let me know where you're connecting from. Speak to me in the comments. Hello. Hi. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. As you are joining, please do well to send this link to a friend, to tell somebody that we are live at the summit. Tell them that we're about to have conversations that will spark us up, that would prepare us to end the year well, but not just that, but to prepare for the coming year, because it's about time for us to wrap up this year. But as we're getting ready to wrap up the year, we're also getting ready to start a new year. All right. So this is the audacity to rebuild any area of your life that feels like, oh my God, this area did not go well this year. This is an opportunity to get into this conversation, to have that conversation of rebuilding, of having the audacity to try again, having the audacity to go again, even if you went before and it didn't work out the way that you expected or that you dreamt of, right? Then there is no giving up. There is an opportunity for you to go again and again. As a matter of fact, tomorrow is the 1st of December. It means that you have another opportunity to go again one last time. Just maybe that one last month in 2024 is going to be that month that would change things for you, that would turn things around, because you are engaged in the audacity to start all over, to build again, to try again. So please send this link to somebody and to be a part of the conversation. Priscilla, thank you so much. Thank you. All right, welcome. Please, I want you to share this link. We need more people to see this. Priscilla Best he says, I can hear you watching from Lagos. How is Lagos today? I hope Lagos is cool. Or is it warm? Let me know. What is it like over here in the UAE? I think our winter, which is always the tiniest part of the year, is starting pretty late, because by this time usually we should already be feeling the cold, but it's still kind of warm even in November. But in the last couple of days, it feels like it's giving us signal that I'm coming. Like, are you ready for me? That's how we're feeling with the weather, because it's beginning to get windy and a little bit cool, especially at night time and in the morning. So we are looking forward to the winter over here in the UAE. So let me know where you're connecting from: Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, wherever it is you're connecting from. Let me know what the weather is like wherever you are. But thank you so much for joining us today. Today's summit is going to be sweet and short, like very, very precise and concise, right? So we need everyone to be in the room. So please share this link with somebody who should be a part of the conversation today. And congratulations to our host who has launched into the world, this new baby that she has birthed, and we're here for it, here to celebrate the work that she's done, here to, give her that pat on the back, that well done, sis. You did this. All right. Well done. All right. Thank you. I see the people coming in. Please keep sharing, and keep the comment section buzzing as well, because that's how we know that you are here with us. All right. So you can share the link. The link has been pasted in the comment section again. So you can copy that link and share it. Or if you're on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube right now, you can just click on the share button, copy the link, and share to your WhatsApp status, to your Facebook page, your Facebook groups, to your friend in their WhatsApp. Just send this link so that we can have more people here. All right. Without further ado, I have the pleasure of being here today. Let me just quickly do a quick introduction. As you can see, I am the energetic EJ. I am an MC, event host, both virtually and in person. I'm a podcaster and a life coach. And it's such a pleasure to be here today to drive this conversation as the MC/moderator of the session. All right, let me just run you through the things that we're going to talk about, or the people that we're expecting today. We're expecting some powerhouses in the room, in this virtual room today. So we're going to have our own very own host, the convener of the summit, Madam Kiki Okewale. We're going to have Oluwaseun Joan Stephen. We're going to have Enifome Ugbimi. We call her Enifire. We're going to have Munfik Rian Abu, and we're going to have the doctor herself, the Sparkle Queen, Dr. Naomi Osemedwa. She's going to be in the room as well. And finally, we're going to also have Adiola Kingsley James. So we have a collation or a buffet of amazing women, strong women, women who are audacious in their existence and in the way that they show up in life. All right. So you're about to be inspired, motivated, and pushed from where you are to take the next step into your next level, to gather that courage that is already in you, but to spark it up, to ignite it, and to have the audacity to build again, to start again, to do that thing one more time, because it is not over until you win. All right. So I have the pleasure right now, as we open up this session, I'm going to invite our host, the convener of the summit herself, Ms. Kiki Okewale. And before I do that, I'm just going to give you a little bit of introduction about her. While I'm doing that, please remember to share this link, share it with somebody, and tell them that we are live and we are already rolling, like the flight has taken off already. Okay, so please share that link. Awesome. So Kiki Okewale is a serial entrepreneur, dynamic audacity coach, public speaker, radio host, philanthropist, and founder, passionate about empowering women. She inspires individuals to embrace audacity, strength, and confidence in their personal and professional lives. Kiki is the author of The Audacity to Rebuild and the founder of the Women High Achievers Tribe, War Tribe, a platform that mentors women through skills acquisition, networking, and business opportunities. Ladies, gentlemen, if there are any in the room, in the building, I have the pleasure of inviting for the opening remark our convener and the host. Madam Kiki, are you ready? Are you ready to mount the stage right about now? Are you ready? Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Are you ready? Okay.
I am
Hello,
definitely
hello.
hi. Energetic EJ is the energy for me. Thank you so much. I really do
Well done.
appreciate all right.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Please, the stage is
Thank
yours.
you. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I am so excited. Um, to everyone here, thank you so much. To everyone joining on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook. We have different places that people are joining in from, and YouTube as well. Thank you so very much for being here. It's a Saturday, and I know that, I mean, we could have been doing anything else, but here we are. Thank you so very much for being here, everyone. I really honor you and I appreciate you. And I'd just like to say good afternoon. All right, my watch drivers. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing? Um, Again, good afternoon, everyone. I am beyond thrilled to welcome you to a moment that redefines our collective journey. Today isn't just an event, it's a profound declaration of our unbreakable spirit, our audacious hope, and our unwavering commitment to become the truest version of ourselves. It's very important that we are the best version of ourselves. There's an extraordinary power that emerges when women unite with purpose. And that's why I'm so excited to have amazing people here today, because we're united for a purpose. The past few days, I started a book tour, going on different platforms, sharing my story, my journey, and why. One of the questions I get asked during the entire program was, why the name The Audacity to Rebuild? As we go along the program and you listen to the phenomenal speakers that we have today, you would understand why it is important to lay emphasis on courage and holding on to hope. It is so important. And today, it's not about me sharing my story because I've done that all through the week. It's about these amazing women sharing their story of overwhelmingly stressful journey they've had to go through. But against all odds, they had the courage to rise again, to keep rising. It is important to know that life, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. And they are here today to share with us. I'm here to learn as much as you're here to learn. And we're not gathering today just to for the sake of it, but we're creating a safe space for transformation where every single one of us can shed the layers of doubt and step into our most authentic, powerful selves. Because really, a lot of us, we are on that journey of becoming, of finding ourselves. A lot of us are going through things and we feel like, nobody really understands. And that's why there are different people here today to share their story with you, to let you know that though our stories, our pain might differ, everyone has their own unique story. But if you can understand the principle to rebuilding, to building, to starting your life again, our theme today is against all odds, the courage to rise again. And it speaks directly to the warrior heart within each and every one of us. Each and every one of us, we have that warrior heart inside of us. We know intimately what it means to be knocked down. We've been knocked down so many times. I know I've been knocked down so many times. I know that I've faced challenges that seemed insurmountable. I know that I've faced challenges that I thought, that was the end. In one of my live session, I said that there was a time in my life I never even thought I was going to laugh again. And the first time I laughed, and I'm not talking about, the British smile, I'm talking about laughing from within. It felt like a breakthrough for me. Laughing, it felt like a breakthrough. So no matter what we're going through right now, the truth is that we will not just survive, we would resurrect stronger, bolder, more determined. And this isn't about presenting a polished narrative of success, because I've been asked those questions. How do you feel comfortable sharing your story so vulnerably? But the truth is, if I don't share my story, how then do I inspire other people? How then do I remind myself where I'm coming from and focus on where I'm going? Our story does matter. Your story matters. And the reason you're here today is to hear the amazing stories these women have to share and how you yourself can become stronger, bolder, and more determined to live a life of purpose. And that is me just honoring my mess that has become a message, because my pain has become a purpose. Every scar, every struggle, every moment of my vulnerability is a testament to my extraordinary resilience. And the same is for you. I see your courage. I know you've got it. We're not here to do abracadabra. We're not here to tell you something or show you something or give you something you don't already have. It's inside of you. You have it inside of you. I see your courage. Even when you don't feel like it, you get up. I see the strength that has carried you through the darkness, that has whispered, keep going. Here you are today. You could have been anywhere else. But guess what? You're here because you understand that your life does matter. And you want to make something beautiful and phenomenal out of your life. And that voice that keeps telling you, keep going, even when everything else suggests that you give up. There are some situations in our life that even if you give up is acceptable. But guess what? You're here. You're not defined by your challenges, but by the profound grace with which you rise above them. And so, as you're here today, I want you to claim your power back. We shattered the limitations others have placed on us. You're not the labels, you're not those things you've even placed on yourself. Today, I want us to step boldly into our greatness, knowing that when one of us rise, we all rise. And I am here to learn as much as you're here to learn. And so I yield the floor and I say a very big thank you to my amazing MC, Energetic EJ, my Dr. Naomi, where it all started from. Thank you so much for being here. She was so on time, right on time. Thank you so much. And I know we also have Enifome here as well. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. To all the speakers that will join us along the line, thank you. We can't wait to learn from you. To everyone here, ready to learn, lay down your burdens, your worries, and just be present. However you're feeling today, it's okay. Whether you're tired, exhausted, or just in between or clueless, it's okay. We've all felt that way at one point in time. So just be here, be present. And I hope that at the end of the program, we would have learned more than one thing. Thank you. Over to you, Energetic EJ.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That was such a beautiful opening remark, to encourage us to say, see, we count. And I love what you just said at the end, like say, it doesn't matter how you're feeling in this moment. The important thing that is you are here. You're here to listen. You're here to learn. And even though you're tired, weak, it's okay. It's okay to not be okay. But then it's not okay to stay there. And that's why we're here to tell you
Absolutely.
that, see, people have been there before and they've been able to move past it. And there are things that could help you move past that stage where you feel like, you know what, I don't think I can go on. The strength that is in you is immeasurable, it's inexhaustive. But sometimes, yes, you do require to rest, but don't overstay. Don't stay there for too long. So thank you so much for that amazing opening speech. We appreciate you. God bless you. All right. So let me know in the comment section, what are you looking forward to today? Just type in the comment. I want to see. I want to feel your pulse. As we get ready to welcome our first speaker on stage. I want to feel your pulse. How are you feeling in this moment? Or what are your expectations? What are you expecting? What is one thing that you hope to see or you hope to hear, you hope to experience from this session today? Esther Omolabaka says, wow, don't stay there for absolutely don't stay there for too long, because that's the exception. You see, that's the exception. Staying there. That's like, we need to move. But of course, we all have those downtimes. We all go through it, and it's okay. So you're not alone. In being tired, you're not alone. In being confused, sometimes you're not alone. In being clueless, you are not alone. But staying there, that's what we don't want. All right. That's what we don't want. And that's why we're here, to share all these amazing stories from these amazing women, so that you can hear something that would that would help you move forward, that will help you move past that stage of freeze. They say there are three responses to fear: flight, fright, freeze. Sometimes we just experience something that hits us so bad and we freeze. We're like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? I don't even know what to do. So you're not alone in that, but don't stay there. Don't stay there. Let me go on. I'm reading your messages. Please keep them coming in the comment section. Onyinye says, mess to message, pain to purpose. Absolutely. We all have some mess, honestly. Like, I don't know about you, but we mess up, right? So we all have mess ups here every now and then. But what we do with it is what makes a difference, is what separates you from the next person, right? But the fact that we all have messes, it's established. It's established. But what we do with that is what is important, is what makes somebody inspiring, and what makes somebody a scapegoat. Looking at someone like, yeah, hey, no, wow. Why? Because that person decided, or did not know, or did not find out how to turn that mess into a message, right? But then the same kind of thing, or even harder things, right, um happens, and then people just freeze and people just stay there, right? For some people, they turn it around, just like Madam Kiki has done. She's shared her story, right? I'm sure you probably know one, two, or three other people who have gone through what she's gone through, or even worse, right? But nobody knows about it. They just keep wallowing in the past, in complaining, in blaming everyone. But what has Madam Kiki done? She's like, okay, fine, these things have happened. What can I learn from it? And how can I use the learnings to change my life, but not keep it there, not just for me, but to share it and to help other people see that there is possibility. It is possible. All right. So thank you so much, Madam Kiki, for that. And thank you for everyone who is engaging. You are the real MVP, and I celebrate you. Thank you so much. All right. I have the pleasure of bringing our first speaker. She's already in the studio. I'm going to read her bio. Fome, I hope you're ready for us. I'm going to read her bio and then I will bring her off stage. And you hear fire. When you hear fire, fire is about to come on this stage, all right? We call her any fire. Oh, she's got fire. Just be ready. Be ready to be like she carries the refiner's fire. That's all I can say. She carries the refiner's fire, so she might burn some things that like weights that are on you. Burn it out so that you can move forward. All right. So I'm just going to introduce her and I'll bring her up on stage. Enifume is a kingdom influencer, transformational coach, inspirational speaker, MC and compare, my sister, author, and entrepreneur, known for her unwavering fire, I told you, and passion for God, people, and events. She holds a civil engineering degree from the University of Benin, certifications in life coaching, relationship mentoring, and digital marketing, amongst others. As the founder of the Live Again movement and Empowerment Foundation, she supports distressed women in healing, rebuilding courage, and living purposefully. And Ifome is also the author of Dear Singles and leads impactful initiatives such as Pretty Wives Pray, the Kids Bible Club, and the Bold Speakers Club. Her mission is to transform lives, leaving every person and organization better than she found them. Ladies and gentlemen, if there are any in the building, I present to you our fireful MC and speaker and coach and transformational women. I bring to you the convener of the Live Again Summit, Enifume Women. Yay! Your mic is muted, sis.
EJ, my
Hi,
sister, so good
so
to
good
see
to
you
see
again.
you. The stage is yours. Please blow us
Thank
away.
you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. How are we doing? I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be speaking. I'm excited to, the theme is just something that resonates deeply with me. Against all odds, right? Courage to rise again. Well, that's something that really my life is made up of. That's like the summary of my life. I had to bounce back and I've had to live again, again, and again, right? So, well, I don't know where to start from because my story is very multidimensional. But basically, I went through a very devastating experience that was supposed to kill me. But instead of it to kill me, I decided to leverage that pain to build drive to live again, right? And everything came out of that experience. I remember when I was at my lowest point and I was crying and I was just talking to God and asking God, why me? Why is all this happening to me? And what did I do to warrant this? Are you punishing me for something? Is there something I didn't do that I was supposed to do? And I was just there and I couldn't pray. I was just worshiping God and I heard him say he has loved me with an everlasting love. And my healing journey started from there. And I began to really see that there is more to my life than what I was going through. And to give context to what I was going through, it was severe abuse. It was initially emotional and then financial, and then it degraded into physical abuse. So I became a shadow of myself. I became a walking dead. And if you looked at me, if you didn't know me before then, you would think that I was living the life. But if you had known me earlier, you would know that something was definitely wrong because I was drying up. I became a walking dead. I was just shining on the outside and I was dying on the inside. So when Kiki says she, laughing again was a breakthrough for her, I can relate. I was smiling, but there was no true joy inside of me. Right. And I remember that one particular low point in my life was when I did 3 days fasting. And the reason I was fasting was because I wanted God to intervene in that situation. But on the third day of the fast, I went back home and I found all my luggage outside. That's like a very low point in my journey that I began to wonder, is it that devil has more power than God? Or what's this? After doing 3 days fasting on the third day, what's really going on? I was expecting a breakthrough. So why would my luggage be packed outside on the third day? But I took solace in the love of God. I took solace in the fact that God loved me. And if He was allowing anything, He had to have a reason for it. And whatever that reason was, it was working for my good. So I held on to Romans 8:28 and I told myself, this is going to work for my good because I knew I had done my best. I knew that this wasn't about me anymore, right? And that just gave me the courage to push forward because it was beyond my control. I focused on what was within my control. I tried not to focus on what I couldn't control. And of course I relinquished control to God and I just told God, you know what, this is me. This is my life. You know why you made me. Just take my life and use it for your glory. I like to say that I died to live again because all the things that I thought were my plans, all the things I had in mind for my life, I surrendered everything to God and I said, Lord, you know me. You know me. You know why you made me, right? Nothing is beyond you. Just take my life and use it for your glory. Even take the mess, take the mistake, take everything that doesn't make sense, and please make it make sense. Make it make sense. And that was really a turning point for me where I now began to really live the life that God planned, and live again started from there, doing an encounter with God where I heard the words live again for the first time. And everything that happened after that happened from a place of surrender and obedience. Everything, the whole live again thing, the shelter, everything that we've done, the foundation, everything we've done has come out of that seed. The Bible says, except a corn of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it abideth alone. So there has to be a death, right? That's the first step to living again. There has to be a death. So if you're thinking of rebuilding anything, you need to understand that at the end of the day, it is God that builds. And so if you have built without Him, you need to invite Him to rebuild, right? That's very key. So some key strategies that really helped me to rebuild my life. Well, I'll just share them as points and just share a little bit because I don't have much time. Number one is foundation. Foundation. The Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? A lot of people are standing or walking on wrong foundations. In fact, they are building with the wrong foundations, and anything that has the wrong foundation would not last. And rebuilding is not just about putting structures together. With my civil engineering background, I can tell you that rebuilding is harder than building because there are existing structures on ground. You have to think of how to remove them, how to displace them, how to build something better, even with that mess that you have in your face. So rebuilding is harder because initially the foundation should have been correct. But if it wasn't correct, and if you're finding yourself in that situation where you have to rebuild, right? Start from the foundation. Strategies to rebuild. Number one, start from the foundation. Go to that foundation. Ask yourself, why did I go through this? What is the predominant pattern in my family? Is there a root cause of this? How did this happen? Like, what was my role in it and what went wrong at first, right? And then you're able to identify the problem with that foundation. Many people are going around thinking that because you look good, especially if you're a woman or if you're a man too, maybe you look good or you've done your bits, you have education and you know God, everything will just work out. No, many foundations are wrong. And if the foundation be destroyed, there's little or nothing that the righteous can do, right? So go to your foundation. Sometimes things happened in our families that were not dealt with. And no matter how you say, it doesn't concern me, God forbid. Well, God forbid, but go and investigate so that you can find out how to rebuild your foundation. And now it would last when you build, right? The second thing I would say is structure, right? I'm using my engineering background for these strategies because that's really what they are, life principles, structure. Now that you're building or you're rebuilding, what is the structure of your building? What is the structure? How are you building? What are the things you're using to build? What are the materials you're using to build? Many times we use the wrong materials and we expect a befitting structure at the end of the day. You cannot be using sand to build a house that will last. You have to use a lot of cement, a lot of gravel, you have to allow the ratio to mix properly, right? So what is the ratio of your materials? What are you mixing? Are you mixing righteousness with unrighteousness? Are you mixing, small lies here and there? Are you compromising? Are you lying? Are you the kind of person that anything goes, you don't have the right values? Structure is really critical. Use the right materials to build, right? So that you can actually have a befitting structure. The third strategy I would say is vision. What is the picture of what you're building? You can't be building something or rebuilding something without a vision. So yes, you made a mistake. For me, I had to forget about my past and have a vision of the woman that God has called me to be. I had to begin to see myself the way God sees me. I had to begin to see myself in the way that He sees me through the Word of God. To call for things that be not as though they were, right? So the vision I had of myself changed. Initially, I had this wrong vision that led to the wrong building, right? So I had to start seeing myself the way God sees me. I had to start seeing the things that God was saying, right? And the way you can get a vision and catch a vision is to stay in the presence of God, where you get impregnated with a vision from God, right? It's not about copying somebody's vision or saying, oh, I desire to have this vision and that. No, that's where the problem came from in the first place. Building on your terms, building for yourself, right? So go to God and catch that vision and let that vision cloud your reasoning, let it cloud your mind, let it drive you, and that would help you build or rebuild a better structure. The fourth thing I'll say is execution. Many times we just have this vision of ourselves. Oh, I want to be this person, I want to be that person, but we don't really do anything about it. If you don't take action, right, you will just have vision and you will not have any results to show for it. So, faith without works is dead, and faith without corresponding action is dead. So, yes, you now know that, okay, you want to rebuild your life. What action are you taking? What action are you taking? I had to invest in myself. I had to do a lot of mindset re-engineering. I had to begin to, get into the right associations. I prayed for the right associations because one of the reasons why you end up, where you ended up where you were or why you were, in that particular rut you found yourself, sometimes it's the wrong association because you don't have the right people around you to really propel you or tell you the truth or really support you in your dreams. You find yourself in a mess that you had no business being in. So it's so important for you to take action, execute, and do the thing that God has called you to do. It can be anything. It can be prayer. It can be cut off from this place. It can be change your environment. When you now begin to catch a vision of yourself or of your life or whatever God is calling you to do, you need to take action. That's what would separate you, and that's what would ensure that you really begin to rebuild, and then you're rebuilding according to standard, right? And the last strategy I would say, because of time, is people. People are very critical to your rebuilding. I don't know anybody that can build a house alone. I don't know. I'm a civil engineer. I cannot build anything alone. I need everyone. I need the electricians. I need the bricklayers, the builders. I need the architects. I need a lot of people to be able to build. I need the right people because it's important to know that not everybody is supposed to follow you on your journey. Not everybody is supposed to be with you when you're building or whatever it is that you're building. You don't need, for example, an orange seller in what is it going to do for you building? I'm just giving you a big picture of someone that is building a house. What is an orange seller going to do in that particular project, right? Maybe to sell oranges to people that are building, I don't know. But it's important to know the right people and you can pray them into your life. And one thing I didn't say when I was talking about vision is that you cannot rise above the past if you've not caught a glimpse of your future, right? You need to catch a glimpse of your future. It's so important. If you don't have a picture of your future, you will remain stuck in your past. And since this is really talking about the courage to rise again against all odds, you need it, you need it, you need it, you need it. So I will just say, well, some key lessons I've learned on my journey. Very key lessons, faith, faith. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, if you don't have faith, you cannot move mountains, you cannot do anything, you cannot, if you are the kind of person that you are stuck in fear, if you're always in fear, you just everything. What if something goes wrong? What if they don't? What if you won't move? In fact, there's even this fear of what will people say if you are in the situation where you have to leave an abusive marriage, for example. Hey, they will say that I'm divorced. They will say that I'm separated with my family. So faith was all I had at that time, and faith has been a very key ingredient in helping me rebuild. It has been a very, very key ingredient. Yes, stop living in fear. um Pay attention to your inside. Pay attention to your inside. Your inside will not lie to you. If you're feeling unwell on the inside, you're probably unwell. If you're feeling sad on the inside, something is wrong. If you're feeling pain, don't cover it, don't ignore it. That's an indicator that no, 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 something is not right, right? Pain comes to make you uncomfortable. So be in touch with your inside, listen to your core. The answers that you're seeking, they are inside of you. Keep your inside healthy, right? Real growth happens on the inside first before it happens on the outside, right? So I would say another thing that I would say as a key lesson is that patterns are real. Don't ignore patterns. You check your family and maybe something is happening, something happened to your mother, your father, your grandfather, your great grandfather. Don't say, it's not my fault, it's not me. No, don't ignore them, investigate them and end the cycle. It ends with you. And if you don't decide to end it, nothing is going to happen. So if you're going to rebuild anything, you have to investigate what was in the past, right? Don't live in the past, but investigate. Go back to the past. I'm sure the answers you're looking for, some of them are in the past, right? And then it's important to say that one of the key lessons that I learned in my journey is to build according to God's plan for your life. Else you build in vain. You will build in vain if you don't build according to God's plan for your life. If you follow your standards, you would build anyhow. But if you follow God's standards, you will build according to his standard. And that ensures that you don't have to keep scattering and rebuilding and finding yourself in a mess every time. You're building, you're seeing your growth and you're following it. I assume that my time is up and that's why EJ is here. So I will stop there. I
Amazing.
think I had
Honestly,
just 10 minutes. So yeah, so
yes, that was so in 10 minutes or probably like 12 minutes, you've just bombarded us with such amazing strategies to live again, to build again. And one of the things that jumped at me is the vision part. And when you talked about, if you're building, if you're working on the vision yourself without God in it, it's ambition or it's no longer vision. Right? And it's
exactly.
just so amazing how you just put it so succinctly. And I love this last part about patterns because I think that's another thing that we truly do overlook and just kind of say, it's not my portion in the name of Jesus. I cover myself with the blood of Jesus. But again, it's like when you're able to direct your prayers in the right direction to break the patterns and to do things differently. And that is so powerful. I mean, every single point you've dropped is a hit back to back. Talk about people. You can't build alone. It's not possible. You can't build alone. You need people. But at the same time, as much as you need people, you need the right people. So not just people, right? Because sometimes we travel along with people that are not even meant to be in our circle at all in the name of, I need people, or just not being comfortable with being alone through some season. So thank you so much, Anifome. You have just blessed
Thank
us
you.
today. Guys, please in the comment section, what are you feeling right now? Me, I'm feeling pumped to like, whoa. That was so good. Sweet, short, but straight to the point and powerful. Thank you so much, Anifome, for sharing so
Thank you for
powerfully,
having me.
leveraging even your experience in civil engineering. It really brought it home for us and gave us that different steps. Absolutely, yes. I love what Onyinye says. It says mind re-engineering, honestly, and that's what you've just done in such a short time. So imagine if we sit with you for 1 hour. Oh my God. God bless you. Thank you so very much. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
All right.
All right, thank you. Wow, that was amazing, wasn't it? That was powerful. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm like, whoa, that was so good. Just 5 steps and so powerful. Remember, your foundation is important. If the foundation be destroyed, what can the righteous do? You have to go back to that foundation and rebuild. I remember what she said. So it's not going to be a walk in the park because rebuilding is harder than building from scratch. You see, rebuilding is harder than building because again, so for some of us, we've built on the wrong foundation. We've gotten used to the wrong patterns. So in working towards re-engineering, that it's not going to be a walk in the park. So we cannot afford to give up. You have to keep trying until everything is completely re-engineered. All right. So thank you so very much to Enifome. That was truly, truly beautiful and we appreciate that. Okay, so moving on, I have the pleasure of bringing on our next speaker. Who is already in the building. I am going to do the introductions and I will bring her up, or I'll bring her up on stage. Our next speaker is Oluwaseun Joan Stephen, an English language graduate of Olabisi Onabanjo University. Oluwaseun is the founder of the Patrick Stephen Purple Heart Foundation, dedicated to empowering young widows aged 18 to 40 and their children. Through initiatives like school fee sponsorships, skill acquisition programs, therapy sessions, and income support, her work has positively impacted countless lives. She also organizes unique events such as Shop for Free, back to school drives, and galas to celebrate and uplift widows. Oluwaseun is a mother of three. Ladies and gentlemen, if there are any in the building, please welcome on this virtual stage today, Oluwaseun John Stephen. Hello, hello. Good
Hi,
afternoon.
good afternoon. Great to be
Thank you
here.
for
Thank you.
coming and thank you. It's good to see you. It's good to have you here. Please, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much for having me. Hello, everyone. My name is Oluwaseun June Stephen. I'm sorry for my scruffy looking self. I just got back from the hospital, and my daughter has been under the weather. So it's been a tough week. Okay, so let's get straight into it. My name is Oluwaseun June Stephen, and my story, as people know it, began on a Friday afternoon, like any other day, And but I think that as women, we always have a hunch about when things are not, you know, when things are going to go off. And I remember that I told my husband on that day that, Patrick, I really have a feeling in my spirit that you should stay home with us today. I think you should stay home with us. And like men always do, oh, don't worry, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm going out, I have an errand to run, and that's that. So um later that afternoon, I got a phone call, and someone called me and said, your husband has been rushed to so and so hospital, and you are needed there. Now, I need to give you a background on the kind of person that Patrick was. Patrick wasn't one of those guys who just drops money and doesn't present. I remember that during my marriage, I used to travel a lot for work. There was a time I had to travel when my baby was 3 months. No, she was 3 months old. And he was like, go. I was going to be gone for 5 weeks. Like, no, just pump, go. I know it's going to be and was a hands-on dad. So we never had a need for a nanny or a help. We shared the chores, cleaning, cooking, everything. And I dare say he did more than me. I was really spoiled. So I was at home alone with our two children at the time. And I got to the hospital. And the person that I saw wasn't the man that I knew. He was still, there was blood everywhere. There was chaos. There were people screaming at me, telling me what to do. But I was so numb. I was so numb. And I couldn't speak. And when I eventually could speak, I was screaming. My children were screaming. I remember that my daughter fainted. And I had to call my sisters to come and get the kids off me. And Just a few minutes after we got to the hospital, my husband passed. Now, the Nigerian healthcare system, I don't want to say anything negative, but there's so much work to do. Because apparently, from the story that we were told, my husband was caught in a crossfire between the police who were escorting a bullion van for a bank and thieves who wanted to get the money from the bullion van. And I think they said it was 400 million or 40 million or so. And the thieves eventually carted away the money. But Patrick was inside a keke napep with 3 other people, and the keke napep was riddled with bullets. Now, the bullet that hit him was to the head. It was a bullet to the head, so it was fatal. And you would expect that they would have rushed him into the theater, tried to do a surgery, but they just left him in that keke napep and just put a bandage on his head and put an IV on him, and that was all. And so that's where he died, inside that keke napep. And I got home that day. I had my phones with me because we had to go deposit his body in the mortuary. And I had blood all over my hands, blood all over my phone. I had his phone as well. There was blood everywhere. And I did not know how to break it to my kids that daddy was never coming back home, because my kids at that time were, I think, 4 and 2 or thereabouts, or 5 and 2. And they were very, very, very tight with their dad. They were extremely close with him. So how I was going to break it to them that they were never going to see him again was something that I didn't know how I was going to do at that time. Now, to make this story even more complicated, I found out I was pregnant with our 3rd child just a few days after he passed. I remember that I hadn't seen my period, and because of the grief and everything, I'd forgotten that I was supposed to see my period. And I didn't know I was pregnant. So I was rushed to the hospital when I was crying a lot, and it looked like my blood pressure was shooting up. Somebody looked at me and said, we need to take her blood pressure, probably get her meds. And at the hospital we went to, they decided that they were going to do a test just to make sure that I could take the meds. And they asked me, when was your last period? I couldn't even remember. So they did a blood test. They came and said, madam, we can't give you this medication. You are pregnant. And I'm thinking, there's absolutely no way I'm pregnant. Patrick and I are done having children. And we did everything that we knew how to do. I mean, family planning and all that. So it's not supposed to happen, you know. And so I'm there in my mid-30s, newly widowed and pregnant, and with 2 children. Whew. I can't encapsulate what I felt in that moment and how it felt. I looked at my family and everybody was staring back at me. No one had been widowed in my family before, so they didn't know how to help me. And everybody was dealing with the shock and the passing of Patrick, because he was an amazing person who touched everyone. So that's how it began. The first year was the toughest year. I had to deal with grief and being pregnant. And you know, being pregnant also comes with, you know, its challenges, morning sickness. And I went to bed so many times and I prayed to God that I wouldn't wake up. I prayed that something would just happen to me. Maybe the baby would die inside. And I just prayed that I wouldn't wake up. And I would wake up and I would be like, oh, I'm alive. I'm still here. And after some months went by, when I wake up, I would say, thank you, Lord, have mercy on me. I repented of wanting not to be alive, because who's going to take care of my 2 children? Like I will. And that's how this whole thing began. And so I began documenting my journey, my struggles as a widow, the things I was noticing, the societal stigma, the reaction of people, the cruelty of people, the cruelty of family that became strangers. I began documenting, and women from everywhere just started sending messages. This is exactly what I'm going through. You are talking about me. This video you made is about me. And some people even said to me, you are an embarrassment to widows. When I started documenting my journey, they would say things to me like, instead of you to mourn your husband quietly, you are here making videos. They would tell me things like, and the people who were saying this were also fellow widows, funny enough. They would say things like, you should delete your Instagram page. You are not the spokesperson for widows. You cannot tell us what to do. You know, things like that. But I didn't let those things discourage me. I didn't let those things discourage me. I didn't let those things discourage me. And early in my journey, I think it was at the end of my pregnancy, I told myself that this pain from widowhood is a lot. It is a great pain. I have never felt this much pain in my entire life. Do I want to carry this pain for the rest of my life? Because I had to go on the internet and I Googled Nigerian widows. Try it. And the pictures I saw pictures of women wailing, women in black, women crying, women being beaten because the family said they killed their husband. I saw videos. And even if you watch African Magic, when we were growing up, the picture of widows and widowhood, it was dark, it was grim. And I told myself, I don't want to be like that. I am going to be different. I am not going to be a statistic. I'm going to break the mold. And one of the things that I told myself early on was that I was not going to be afraid to offend people. I used to be a people pleaser. But all that died when my husband died, because I decided to put my mental health and the mental health of my children first. So there are a lot of traditions and stigmas and things that widows are expected to do. Stay indoors for a year, wear dark clothing, limit communication with people, and all that. But none of those things were working for me to feel better. I needed to go out. There will be times I feel like going to a restaurant. But because you're a widow and they say you should stay home for 3 months, you are not going out. You're not taking walks. You're not taking vitamin D. And everybody knows that lack of vitamin D causes depression. I'm already depressed. Then you want to add to my depression by asking me to stay indoors. So I told myself, I am not going to do that. They told me, you are a widow, shave your hair. I told them, I'm not shaving anything. Even though a few months down the line, I did cut my hair. But that was my decision. I thought I needed a new look. But I didn't do anything that they asked me to do. They asked me to cook and that some village people would come and eat. I told them not to come to my house. It is not a celebration. It's a young man that died. What are you coming? You don't have food in your house. Why are you coming to my house to eat? I offended a lot of people. A lot of people don't talk to me right now. And to be honest with you, I don't care. Because I put myself first and I put my children first. And as long as God was pleased And I wasn't offending God. That was that for me. I wasn't going to keep the peace and mess up my own peace of mind. I wasn't going to try to give anybody peace and mess up my own peace of mind. So early on in my journey, I decided that I didn't want to be the picture. When people Google widow and come and they see me, they will not be able to compare the two. Because one of the things that people tell me when they meet me is that you don't look like a widow. And I always ask them, how should a widow look? I mean, people always say that widows are God's wives. You know, they call them Jesus' brides, Jesus' wives. Now, Jesus is the savior of the world. He's the king of nations. If he had a wife, how should she look? She should look taken care of. She should look glorious. She should look untouchable, you know, almost unattainable. So how can you say that I'm Jesus's wife and I'm supposed to look sad and depressed and somebody who depends on handouts from other people? It's not, the math is not mathing, like the Gen Z would say. So I told myself I wanted to be different. And God helped me. And one of the things that God told me early on in my journey is that, look, if you give me this pain, I will fashion it. I will turn it into something else. So I said, God, take this pain. I'm giving you this pain. I'm giving you my pain. Now, one of the questions that I'm being asked is, how did you, what was one of my greatest challenges in trying to rebuild? Because as a widow and trying to be different, you have to build yourself from the ground up. You know, as little girls, we are conditioned to expect to get married. From the age of, I don't know, 5, you are already conditioned to become somebody's wife. You're going to get married one day, or you're going to bring a husband home. And let's say from the age of, by the time you're 28 or 25, and you don't have a husband, your parents are already telling you, where is your boyfriend? Who is your... So society conditions, our society in particular, conditions women to be married. Now, I was fortunate. I married a good man. But when that gets taken away, you discover that you have an identity crisis and you almost don't know who you are. And you have to ask yourself, okay, who am I without this man? Who was I before I married this man? And you need to begin, you know, because a lot of us lose our identity in our husbands, in our children. There's a way that postpartum and having children can take over your life that you don't even think of yourself again. Sometimes that's why women abandon their careers for a few years. That's why they, you know, they put everything in the back burner, because now they need to focus on the children, you know. So a lot of time, we as women, we forget ourselves. And when you lose your husband, you have an identity crisis. You're asking, who am I without this man? And so I begin to ask myself, okay, who am I? What are my gifts? What do I want to do? How can I invest in myself to make myself better? And one of the greatest challenges that I faced was my mental block. You would think it was outside participation, but no, it was here. Because I grew up in a single parent household. And for all of my life, all I wanted was to be somebody's wife, was to have a home with my children. And for 6 years, I had that, and it was beautiful. So when he passed, I had to start thinking, okay, I'm no longer a wife. So who am I now? Who am I now? And so I began to think about my gifts, what I love to do. I love to write. I love to sing, even though I'd always done those things, but I never really focused, you know, on those things. Yeah, and so I started expressing my giftings, and you know, the Bible says that your gifts will make room for you.
You.
And
Amen.
yeah, those things, began to how do I say, make room for me.
Wow. Honestly, I feel like don't worry. If I come into your DM, to come and say, please, oh, Sister Sharon John, oh, please, oh, we need you to come and tell this story on another platform. Please don't pursue me because what? What? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being
Thank God.
different. Thank you for being different. Thank you for paying the price.
It's all
Because
glory to
because you
God.
paid the price, other women have the boldness to also step out to say, okay, I don't want to be a statistics. I want to be different. I love your analogy about the bride of Jesus. Like, how can you be a bride of him and look miserable? No,
Exactly.
it doesn't
No,
work.
it doesn't work.
Oh my God. God bless you. God bless you. I am sending you a
Amen.
virtual hug right now. My love and my prayers
Ah,
to your baby girl who is under the
thank you so
weather. We're
much.
praying for her that she'll be well,
Thank you
that
so
she'll
much.
receive
Amen.
wholeness. We're praying for strength for
Amen.
you as well as you continue to impact your
Amen.
world. Thank you for
Amen.
standing. Thank you for paying the price. We appreciate you. We
Glory to
celebrate
God.
you. We love you.
Thank you so
And we're
much.
saying,
Thank you
go,
so
sister,
much.
go. Go, sister, go. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much.
you.
Such a
Awesome.
pleasure.
God
Yeah.
bless you. Thank you.
God
Wow.
bless you. Yeah.
Woo! My goodness. My heart. Oh my gosh. Woo. Please, if you want us to bring Madam Sheung back, let me know in the comment section. We are going to organize like a sit out session with her because honestly, she's got a lot to tell us. She's got a lot to teach us because she's gone through a lot, and you can see resilience reeking off of her. And I think she has a lot to pass on to people when it comes to the topic of resilience. And we're going to we can probably work something out there. But that was such a beautiful story. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Oluwaseun John Stephen. Thank you. God bless you. Oh my goodness. Yes. They say bring her back. Bring her back. Okay, we'll work on that. All right. I have the pleasure of bringing our next. We call her the Sparkle Queen because she sparkles. She sparkles, right? So I'm going to bring her up on stage, and we're going to do something special. We appreciate that she was here right. In fact, before we went live, she was already in the studio. So we really do appreciate her for that. So I'm going to introduce her, and then I'll bring her up on stage, and we would work our magic. All right. Next up is Dr. Naomi Osemedwa, globally recognized as the Sparkle Queen. Dr. Naomi Osemedwa is a renowned speaker, coach, and transformation catalyst. As the CEO of the Center Stage Company, she leads a reputation management firm specializing in visibility and impactful storytelling. She founded the Women with Stories International and the Trash the Labels movement, which stems from her inspiring TEDx talk, a cohort principal for the Abuja Accelerator Program and recipient of numerous global awards. Naomi's mission is to ignite inspiration, empower change, and help individuals and organizations thrive. Ladies and gentlemen, if there are any in the room, I present to you the beautiful, the gorgeous Sparkle Queen, Dr. Naomi Osemedwa. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. I think your mic is muted. Can you help us check that your mic is working? Okay, it is working. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear Dr. Naomi? Is it from my end? Because I can't hear her. Is, is it my audio? Is it me? Guys, can you hear Doctor? Okay, Doctor, we can't hear you. Okay, fantastic. Okay, go and come back. Whew, oh my goodness. I was super excited, like, Oluwaseun, we are coming for you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you for just sparking off something in us and for just, you know, I can feel your strength. You're such a powerful woman. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. And thanks to Madam Kiki for selecting this buffet of beautiful women, strong, resilient women, to come and push us to say, come on now, wake up. You can build again. It is not the end of the world. You can build again. Don't sit down there. You are not alone. Yes, we are not discounting your pain. We are not even rubbishing it. Yes, we know it is painful. We know you are hurt. We know you were betrayed. We know that it pained you. Like you can still feel it as if it's a fresh cut. We know. But we can also tell you for sure with these stories we're sharing today that that place is not for you. That is not your last bus stop. You can build again. You can wake up. You can stand up. You can get up, albeit not alone. You need the help of people, but you cannot remain down there. So,
Yeah,
fantastic. Doctor is back.
Doctor
Can we
is
hear you
back. Can
now?
we hear you now?
Okay.
Okay.
Um, I still can't hear Doctor.
Let me leave this.
Madam Kiki,
Madam
can you
Kiki, can you
let's
speak?
be
Let's
sure?
be sure.
Maybe it's from
Maybe
my
it's from
end.
my
Let me
end.
leave.
Let me leave. All right. So
right.
can you tell me? I can't hear you. I don't know. There's an echo. I heard you when you came in initially. But I can't hear. EJ, come up. I'm not sure it's from your end.
Yes,
Can you
it's
hear
funny.
me, EJ?
I can hear you.
All right, so I can hear you too. But when she came up, I think I heard the sound from her end. But right now I can't.
Okay, she's left the studio again, maybe to return and try again.
While we're waiting for her to come up, I'd just like to really say a very big thank you to Enifome and to Oluwaseun, because I know they might not be here when I'm giving the vote of thanks and all. I just really want to say thank you so much. Like, what a day it has been. You know, when we were planning the launch of the book, I kept thinking, how can we do this differently? Because really, it's not just about the book or about me, it's about the people to understand the principles that, you know, you're not alone in whatever life chooses. And that's why we brought different people that have gone through different things, from abuse to widowhood. We're going to hear Dr. Naomi's story. We're going to hear Adeola's story. Different women. But one thing is constant: the courage, the resilience, you know, that spirit of not giving up against all odds, the courage to rise again, building your own life, living your own dreams, not following the norm, breaking and shattering the glass ceiling. To say, you say this is normal, this is not my normal. Renaming the issues, the situation, and giving it the name. And I remember when I had this opportunity to just, you know, converse with Oluwaseun. Oh my God, it was amazing. I spoke with Adeola, and Adeola was like, you know, I love how you're renaming things. We put too much power on things when we can really rename it into something that suits us, something that makes us powerful. And it's just so amazing. I mean, I haven't heard Oluwaseun's story. I've brought everyone here today. They had me on their platform and I shared my story. And today I'm hearing their stories for the very first time. However, we had already gone through checking to know that, you know, they had something phenomenal, something the world needs to know. And listening to our story today and Enifome's story is just, I'm just grateful. And I just want to really acknowledge and thank Dr. Naomi Osemedwa, because she made this possible. I'm not even going to take credit. She made this possible, you know. I said, we need to do this. Kiki, tell me what you need. She started giving me names. You need this person, you need this person. Can we hear you now, Dr.
Yes, I think
Naomi?
we can.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yay, we can.
All right, I'm
But
going
now
to
your video is off.
Okay,
Yeah,
the
give
video
me a
is off.
second.
Let's have your beautiful sparkling
Yeah,
face
give me
back.
a second. Give me a second.
Okay, so before I yield the mic, I'd just like to, say thank you to Dr. Naomi, like I said earlier. Say thank you to all the speakers. Not only are they here, they brought me to their platform, 1 hour on their platform, hearing my story, pushing this book, The Audacity to Rebuild. Not knowing me, but doing all of that. And today, hearing their story is just, I'm so emotional. And of course, I'm a crybaby in a very good way. So that's okay. That's okay. Because Oluwaseun's story, it's just reminding me of my mom when she lost her dad and all. But I'm so glad that we're able to do this. Coach Naomi, thank you so much. My own coach. I love you. Story is not for now. So are you we can't hear you again, no. Hey.
Do you have your Bluetooth connected?
No,
Maybe
the devil is a liar.
he's a liar. Honestly, we could hear you before. What happened?
We could hear you before. What did you press?
Oh no!
The world knows we need to hear Dr.
Somebody needs to hear something.
Somebody needs to hear that story. Oluwaseun needs to rush back to the hospital.
Yes,
Oluwaseun, I'm giving you lots of virtual hugs. I'm praying that the Lord will heal your daughter completely. I know we've been checking up, but I would also call you after the session, and I pray that lines will fall for you in pleasant places. Speedy recovery. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Thank you so much. Give you the permission to go back to do the things that are truly important you need to do. We love you. Thank you so much, Oluwaseun. Thank you.
So much. Yes.
Hi.
Doctor, yay! Hi. We can hear
you. Okay. Okay, I don't even know what that is, but
I know, right?
Nothing can stop me today.
Nothing,
I have no idea.
nothing can stop you. You're all the way up.
Energetic EJ. Oh my goodness. What a moment in time. What a day to be alive. I've just been at the backstage, just wondering, my goodness, what I think, and I'm so sorry, like I should allow you even like lead this conversation.
Please take it away.
But I'm just at the back end and I'm saying and wondering, is there anyone watching right now and you are thinking there is no end in sight for me to come out of this? There is no way I can survive this. There is no way I can see another day that I will laugh again. Is there anyone going through anything and you're thinking it's over? Look, it's not over. It's not over. It's not over. Because when you hear stories like the one you've just heard, when you think about Enifome's journey, when you look at Oluwaseun, and I remember the first time I came in contact with her, I was in awe. I was in awe just even hearing what she experienced. But what was even more fascinating was how she had turned that pain into power, how she was now starting to minister to so many young widows. I go on her page and sometimes I'm like, these women have no business, absolutely no business being widows at this age. I mean, these are babies. These are babies. What business do they have with widowhood? But you see, life happens. And why we're gathered here today is this is the reason. What do you do when life happens? What do you do when life knocks you down? What do you do when you get betrayed, when you lose that relationship, when you lose that business? Because loss can come in any shape and it can come in any form. But the audacity to rebuild is why we're here. EJ, you need to come back on. Don't leave me. I just needed to drop that quickly because
I'm right here with you, Mama.
No, don't leave me. Stay here. I need you here. I am so honored. I mean, Kiki, is an amazing woman I met many years ago. And since this book came out, she never forgets to mention how, I played a critical role. She's an avid learner, and I know she's worked with countless coaches over the years, but she continues to honor me and celebrate the fact that I was I was there at the beginning, when this was in seed form. And I don't take it for granted, because this is why I love the work that I do. I know
Right.
that in allowing women find the gift in their stories, and giving them the
Sorry.
courage and the push, to get out to the center stage, come out of the backstage, take your story, take that which didn't kill you. I love when
Mm,
Oluwaseun was talking about how she began to document, because it takes some level of intentionality for you to
absolutely.
get to that place where that which at some point caused you so much pain, you
Pain.
can look back and literally say, thank God. When I
Mm,
had Kiki on my platform on the first day of the book tour, she was talking about how thankful she was for the people who reported her and everyone who betrayed her. Like, it
mm.
doesn't even sound normal for you to get to that place where the people at some point you felt like the ground should open up and swallow
And
them.
swallow.
Now you're
Mm.
looking for
You're
them,
not
you want to
thankful for
hug
them.
them. You now ask yourself, what caused the shift? This is why we're here. This
Mm,
is why you need this book. Because again, experience is a great teacher, but I disagree that it is the best teacher. I believe other
mm.
people's experience is the best teacher. Kiki has not only documented her journey, out of her journey, she has found blueprints, she has
Mm.
found laws that once you decide, again, it's going to take the intentionality for you to say, I'm not just going to get the book, I am going to take the lessons, I am going to put the laws to practice. And laws are powerful, they're principles that can't be broken. It's like
Mm.
day and night. There is nothing that happens in the world that will take away the fact that there will be day and there will
And
be
there will be
night.
night. Mm.
That means if you feel like you are in your night season, I want you to get
Yes, morning
excited,
is coming.
because morning
Woo!
is coming. I want you to
Woo!
put that in the chat. Morning is coming.
Morning is coming.
Morning is coming, and believe it. This is not motivation. This is reality. It's a law. Morning is coming. And how quickly you get into that morning, a lot of times will depend on you, because life can come at you in a way that it will break you to the
Mm.
point where you don't want to see another day. But when you decide, enough, thus far, no more, I am done with this darkness, I am done with depression, it will take you making that decision. Otherwise, nothing will help. You can get all the speakers come in here and share their journeys, and you can feel a little bit inspired. But if you tell yourself, you know what, that's them, they don't understand my pain,
It's not for
they
me.
don't know
Mm.
what I've been through. And you're absolutely correct. We don't know your pain. We don't know what you've been through. We don't know how tragic, your experience has been. But the truth is, the fact remains, the truth remains, the fact that you are still here, the
Mm.
reality of your existence, that you can hear us, that you are here right now, that you did not die. What was meant to
Mm.
kill you didn't kill you. Sister, brother, if there are any here, you have a cure. I
You
want you to put
have.
that in the chat, whether you believe it or not. I have a cure. You have a cure.
Mm.
Now, where the work is what Kiki has done. When you decide to take your experience, it's what Oluwaseun has done. When she began to document her journey, I'm not even sure she had that clear picture of what it will become. The number of widows that she would stand as a light bearer for, and she
Mm.
would be that beacon of hope, that finally we can see someone who represents that which we would like to be. But no one has given us that example. I was fascinated
Example.
when she shared, if you Google widows in Nigeria, the
Mm.
darkness and the grim images you find. One widow decides to say, you know what? I'm
I'm
willing to
gonna
change that
change that.
narrative.
Woo!
I'm willing to take the time and heal. I'm willing to find the cure so that I can serve others with the gift of the cure. Because the truth is, whatever didn't kill you has given you a cure. It is your
Mm,
responsibility to discover that cure and serve the world with the gift of that cure. It's not it's not okay to stay in that place of
mm,
depression and
mm.
sadness, and I am sending you love. But sometimes we all need that wake up call when we say,
Push.
girl, get up. Girl, get up. Girl, get up. This is what this book is about. This is a girl get up book. That
Mm,
wherever you find yourself, Kiki is saying, look, I've been there, I've done that, and I found the audacity to rebuild, and I'm giving you that gift. Will you take it? Will you run with it? Will you take my lessons? Will you take my experience? Will you find the laws that worked for me? And just like
mm,
night and day, will you be willing to implement it and get the results? And even
mm.
if you feel your life is good and perfect right now, do you know someone who is going through a journey, a season?
Absolutely.
Can you reach
Mm.
out to them? Tomorrow is December 1st. We're stepping into the end of 2024. And for many
24.
of us who are believers, it's Christmas season. It's a
Yeah.
season of love. It's a season of giving.
Of
Instead
giving
of
and
thinking,
sharing.
what is the best gift I want to buy? Why don't you get 100 copies of this book and say, you know what? I'm going to distribute it, whether they
Mm.
need it or not. Because let me tell you the truth, forget the makeup, forget the hair extensions. Everyone is dealing with something. You better believe
Absolutely.
it. You better
Absolutely.
believe it.
Hmm.
Everyone is dealing with something.
Mm.
Yesterday I was having a live session, and someone was sharing how a couple of months ago there was someone who was reputable, very wealthy. You know, if you looked at her life on the outside, it would be one that you would desire. And then they found out she committed suicide. And they
Oh my
kept
God.
wondering, she had
What
everything.
happened?
What happened? What was going on? And then they
Hmm.
found out she was going through a relationship where there was a lot of emotional abuse. And so,
Oh
why they
Lord.
couldn't see the scars on the
On
surface,
the
on the
skin.
inside, she was
Oof.
dying. And she got to the point where she felt, I can't take it
There's no
anymore. And
point.
she took her life.
Oh
So, don't even
no.
get it twisted. People are dealing with stuff. And
Mm.
so, if you feel your life is good, praise God. We rejoice with you, we celebrate with you. But there are people all around you who are dealing with
Who
things,
are dealing
and
with
they
things.
need to hold this book in their hands. Question now is, will you join us in this movement to help people bounce back, to help
Hmm.
people find hope again, to help people get that audacity to rebuild? Will you join us? It's a question, and I need answers. E- EJ, please
Woo.
take it away. Take it away.
Will you join us? Will
Yeah.
you join us? Please, if you are going to, can you type it in the in the comment section to say, I am with you. I will join you. And as you're saying that, I want the team to begin to put the links to get this copy of this book, to pre-order it. You know, I think is available on Amazon and on Stellar, so you can get your pre-order now. Thank you, Lulu. Lulu says, I will join you. I love, love, love what Coach Naomi just said. See, a lot of people are going through. And this gift is something that let them see, let them read it for themselves. Let them
Right.
go through it. You can also, you know, set it up for young people around you. Just sit down and create like a community around it where everyone reads it and
Yeah.
discuss about it, you know,
Yeah.
so you can discuss and apply. Okay, how would I apply this to my specific situation? How will this work for me? What will resilient look like for me in my
Mm.
own situation? Thank you, Shemilore. Shemilore says, I will join you. That's the link over there. Onye says, I am with you. Thank you so much. So we have it on Kindle and paperback on Amazon. You can order on Amazon. You can order for your copy, and you can as well order on Seller. The book is available. Get copies of it, distribute it, add it to your hamper, the hamper that you're going to share for the season. Add a copy to it, right? gift someone an Amazon, gift, an Amazon card, buying them this particular book, right? This is something that we all need. The stories in it would help shift the mindset of somebody, to help them see the light at the end of the tunnel, even if they can't see it outrightly. But this can inspire hope in them to just say, you know what, if she can do it, if she can do it, maybe I can do it too.
That's
And
right.
there's a community around it as well. So please see the link in the comment section. Let us, go ahead and just order a copy, order the paperback, gift it to somebody today. And we appreciate you. Will be doing somebody a service and a blessing by doing that. There's also the seller link as well in the comment section. Dr. Naomi, please, before you leave us alone, share with us a story, your own journey of pain to
Mm,
purpose, and
mm,
building again, and so we
yeah.
can just learn from your experience.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Once again, it's truly an honor to be here. Thank you, Kiki, for the audacity to write this book. I know it took a lot for you to sit down and commit to the journey. It's no easy feat to write a book, but you did it. And I just want to say congratulations and thank you for sharing your gift with the world. And I know it's my prayer that generations unborn would hold that book. I must say this, it's such a beautiful book. I'm always at my office, and for some reason, I left my copy in the office. I felt so bad. It was just minutes before 2. And I felt like, can I get to the office quickly and come back? I really wanted to drive to the office and bring my copy. It's so beautiful. To hold. It's not just a great book to read, it is beautiful, it is stunning. If anyone holds the book, the first thing is just how attractive it is, and then to open it and read the lessons from the book. EJ talked about gathering people together, and I just wrote down. I think, and I'm planning, and I'm hoping that I'm going to do like a special in January. With a group of people, and we're going to read the book. So I am going to be ordering, drum roll, 20 copies of this book in the new week. And I'm hoping I'm coming to Lagos,
Whoop, whoop,
and I'm coming
whoop,
and I'm going to
whoop.
bring the copies. And I'm going to bring the copies back with me. And I'm going to find 20 women in January who will have that book as a gift from me. And we're going to go through it together, and we're going to share our lessons. Just a way of supporting Kiki and having more women. And I will tell the women to pass it forward. So imagine 20 of us gathering in January to read this, meet once a week in person, because I would love for us to gather together and just share our thoughts and cry if we need to. And then in February, someone else now has to pass it forward. And then someone else has to pass it forward. I mean, that's already a movement we're starting. And so if you are online and you're watching and you feel like you can do this, then do it. You don't have to buy 20, you can buy 10. You can buy 2, you can buy 3, but do this with someone. It's going to be so special. And I'll tell you why. When I look at my journey of running away from home at the age of 22, eloping by 31, finding myself divorced, with 2 sons, surviving domestic abuse, I don't look like what I've been through. And many people know that story, but just before I came on today, I was just analyzing, and I'm like, there are many, many, many areas I have had challenges, many things that have broken me even deeper over the last couple of years. I tried to set up a business, and the entire structure collapsed before my eyes. I've birthed visions that I thought, okay, surely this will succeed, and it came crashing in front of me, and I'm wondering, but I'm trying to do good, I'm trying to do right, why isn't it working? I've had failed relationships, and sometimes you get to that place where you're asking yourself, what am I not doing right? What is wrong with me? And you may want to look at yourself and feel like nothing is working in your favor, nothing is working for your good. But I remember in 2016, when for the very first time I shared my story, I never imagined people were going to come after me. I talked about the pain of losing my family. I grew up daddy's girl. I grew up, if you needed anything from my father, you go through me. I was that girl. I was that child, and we moved overseas because of my dad's work. And I had my early teenage years overseas, and then we came back to Nigeria. I had some academic challenge because I wanted to study medicine for the love I have for people, and it just wasn't working out. Not because I wasn't smart, but I was trying to change schools, and one thing led to another. The first school I left, which wasn't accredited for medicine, I had to go back there. And I remember getting back there, and my mates had graduated. Well, they were graduating that year, and I just felt like a failure, coupled with the fact that growing up as a teenager overseas in Southeast Asia, where my friends were, small, petite, and cute, I felt like some big giant, with so much afro hair. I mean, now one of the biggest things I love about myself, my natural hair. But at some point as a teenager, I was so ashamed of how I looked. I was angry every time anyone called me fat. I struggled with so many things, and I wasn't paying attention. I lost the essence of who I was. And so when I met someone in the year 2000 who felt, who just literally was saying all the right things, because there was a vacuum on my inside, I I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention to the fact that I was waiting for someone else to validate me. I was waiting. I was searching for validation in others because I didn't have it. Be careful. Be careful about those vacuums you're leaving open because of the experiences that you've been through. Be careful. There was a vacuum. And so when he came and he filled that vacuum, I said, to hell with everybody. My parents had their reservations. I was just 22 years old. I was in med school trying to settle in after losing 2 years back and forth, but I wouldn't even hear it because for the first time I felt seen, I felt heard, I felt this is it. I'm finally going to have something everyone else doesn't have. And so on November 10th, 2000, 24 years ago, I ran away from home and I eloped. I walked away from my family. I remember the letter I wrote. I told my parents it's my life and I'm going to leave it. It's my life and I'm going to leave it. I remember crying all the way. I didn't even know where I was going, but I just knew I was in love, and here was this great person, and he had promised me the world. He could write the best letters, and I was like, man, I'm going here. And I wasn't even a bad girl. I was a church girl. When you think about it, people have asked me, like, what was it about the whole thing that was making you, want to walk away from everything? I walked away from the known, the love of my family, my sisters. I come from a family of six. I have one brother who's older than me, and I've got four sisters behind me. What an example. Oh, my parents were broken. And so they did the best thing they could to make sure that nobody else follows that path. I was literally cut off from my family for 9 years. My brother, my only brother, was in America when it happened. He came back to Nigeria a couple of years later. He refused to see me. Like we were a close knit family. I walked away from everything because I was seeking validation from the outside. I had no self confidence. I felt there wasn't much to me anyway. So if someone says I'm the next best thing after sliced bread, I better go here. But you see, when I made the decision to walk away after 9 years with two sons, I was in a dark place. I was angry. I was bitter. I was upset. I mean, so many people betrayed me. So many people. My case was their meal ticket. They would go to my parents to make up stories. They would talk about things that they didn't even see or hear just to be in my parents' good books. And I can't even explain how broken I was every time I would hear things and I would be like, this is not even fair. I am cut off from my family. And for so many people, it was their time to shine, it was their time to eat. Can you just imagine that? But 2009, I said, you know what? I can do better. Can someone please put that in the chat? Because yes, that day comes when you tell yourself, I can do better. I can't stay here. And it doesn't even have to be a relationship, for you, whatever it is, like that place you find yourself that you've been for so long, and deep down in your gut, you've stayed around this mountain for too long. You better tell yourself today, I can do better. I can do better. And whatever better is for you, I pray you find it. And one thing I can promise you, this book just might have the answers you're looking for, because we don't come out of things and situations because we feel there's no way out. We feel like no one understands. Oh, I'm alone. No, you're not alone. The moment you pick this book and you begin to read it, you will find so many similar experiences. It might not be the same, but the pain and the agony, I promise you, it will feel familiar, because that's what it is. We experience all sorts of things on our journeys, but somewhere along that journey, there is a rope that ties all of us. Pain is universal. And so whatever your pain is, you will feel Kiki's pain and you will connect with her. One of the laws in the book is the law of loss. Like, you need to read this book. You need to understand that there is a way out. And yes, my darling, you can do better. I walked away not even knowing what next. But thank God for God. Thank God for the foundations of the Christian faith that were planted in me. Because I knew that even though I had made a mistake, even though my life was messy, I knew that God wasn't done with me yet. I knew that purpose could come out of this. How? I didn't know. When? I sure didn't know. I was only trying to survive. But one of the greatest gifts I gave myself was the gift of forgiveness. And I want everyone to really hear me and hear me well. If you forget anything I say today, please do not forget this. Forgiveness is so powerful. And I've heard people say, I will never forgive. There was a video we shared recently at the Women with Stories, an organization which I gave birth to out of my journey. She had her partner, her husband, actually bathe her with acid. And towards the end of that video, she said something. She said, even if I hear that he's dead today, I still wouldn't forgive him. I am not even judging her, but I'm telling you, you can feel so much pain right now and so much anger at whoever has hurt you that you can't even think of forgiveness. But let me tell you how powerful forgiveness is. Forgiveness is not about the other person. Hear me and hear me well today. Forgiveness is about you. It's a gift that you owe to yourself. And in some cases, you may need to forgive yourself. I had to do the work first by forgiving myself. I made a mistake. I had no business running away from home. I had no business eloping. I had no business disobeying my parents, but I chose a path that ended me broken, depressed, alone with two sons, and a victim of domestic abuse after 9 years. I had no business with that. Nobody sent me. I sent myself. And so I had to forgive myself. I had to forgive all of those who turned me to a meal ticket. I had to forgive my parents. Today I'm a mom. Those two kids, one is almost 23, the other one just turned 21. And some days I look at myself and I'm like, Naomi, what were you thinking? I'm a mother now. I have two more. And I'm like, what were you thinking? Were you like okay in your head? Because on the day I finally tied the knot, what's today's date? What's today's date? November 30th. Oh my
30th.
goodness. November 30th. Is today November 30th?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I amaze you?
Please.
November 30th, the year 2000, was the day I officially tied the knot. So I ran away from home on the 10th of November. But after hiding for weeks, knowing that my parents were looking for me, I had to make a decision. I thought if I went back, they would kill me. And if I stayed without making anything official and I got pregnant, then my kids will be bastards because there wasn't anything official. So I went to the court And I found someone to stand as my father. And on November 30th, on this day, 24 years ago, I tied the knot. Mm, mm,
Hmm.
mm, mm.
Full circle.
But
Talk
you
about.
see, I forgave myself. I forgave everyone. And forgiveness is a gift that you owe to yourself. It's not about the other person, it's about you. Let it go. I know it hurts. I know they betrayed you. I know they took the love you gave them and they squashed it like it meant nothing. Let it go for your sake. Because the moment you give that gift of forgiveness, it's almost as though the light opens up. And all of a sudden, remember the morning we talked about, the light begins to seep through. And God help you that you have a book like The Audacity to Rebuild. You sit down and you say, you know what? I've heard Enifome. I've heard Oluwashio. I've heard Naomi and other speakers who are coming. And here is Kiki telling me about her journey. You know what? There is hope for me. And let me say this in closing. You are not going to be for everyone. I remember when Oluwashio was talking about how widows were saying you're not our spokesperson. Not everyone is going to be connected to your story, and that's okay.
Mm,
But
yes.
guess what? You need to understand that there are people who are losing sleep over the solutions that you carry.
That you
And for
carry.
their sake, you need to show up. You are not going to be for everybody. Not everyone's going to like you. The sparkle that I bring to the world is not for everyone, and I'm at peace with it. But guess what? The people who need my light, oh,
Mm,
they find me.
mm.
They find me. It is my responsibility to make sure that my light is turned
Keep
on.
shining.
So when they come, they will find me.
See
They will
it.
find. So, my question to you as I go, what will they find when they encounter you? Is it
Yeah.
pain? Is it
Mm,
darkness? Is it
mm.
depression? Because hurting people hurt others.
That's people.
If you have seeds, if you have children, they are picking all of these things from you. You don't even want a repeat cycle. You can't even handle the repetition of what you're going through in another generation. So, for your sake and for the sake of the seeds that you
Yes.
hold dear, give yourself the gift of forgiveness. Let it go. And know that the cure that you carry, someone out there needs it. And make a promise to yourself today, on this day of the Audacity to Rebuild book launch and global virtual summit. Make the decision today that your morning is here, that your morning is here, that your morning is here. I
My
love you
morning
so
is
much.
here.
Thank you. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Dr. Naomi. Ooh, so good. So good. So good. So good. So good. Wow. What a blessing. What a blessing today has been. What a blessing. Like, wow. Look at the full circle. My goodness.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for shining your light. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
sparkling.
Thank
Because
you.
you did sparkle, there are other women who have accepted and embraced the permission to sparkle as well, regardless of the
Thank you.
mistakes, of the errors, of the wrong turns,
Mm,
coming back to their own to say, you know what, yes, I messed up, but we can fix this. We can change
right.
things. We can turn things
Right.
around. My morning is
Right.
coming. I'm going to walk into the light and
It's
leave the
here.
darkness behind. Woo!
Right.
So good, so good. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Dr. Naomi.
Thank
Ah, God bless you. God bless
you.
you. God
Amen.
bless you.
Amen.
Thanks to
Amen.
Kiki for just selecting this buffet of powerful women. And we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for being such a pillar, a pillar of
Thank you.
support, even to Kiki and playing this pivotal role, this important and significant role in birthing this book. And
Thank you.
yes, and also sharing that example of paying it forward, having a group of women and then
Yes,
paying it forward. That's amazing.
we're doing it.
That's a lovely movement. That's a lovely movement for 2025. Thank you so much. God
We're
bless you. I know
doing
you have
it.
to run now. We love
Yes.
you. We celebrate you. We appreciate you. God
Love you
bless you.
all.
All
Thank
right,
you. Thank
ma'am.
you.
Yes. Bye.
Bye,
Yeah.
everyone.
Bye. Wow, what a day. What a way to wrap up November 2024. Like, are you guys feeling, can you share a word in the comment of the dominant emotion you're feeling right now? Because I'm smiling and my head is aching out of the smile because like and my heart is like, Yoruba people will say that there's this adage Yoruba people say that when you're so happy, they would say that right now, you can ride a horse inside of me and the horse will not stumble. That is how excited I am. Whew, what a story. What amazing stories of rebuilding, of starting again, of forgiveness, forgiving yourself and moving on. Yes, you made the mistake. Yes, it's your choice. Stop abdicating your errors to somebody else. Stop blaming everyone else except yourself. Accept it. Yes, I messed up. I made the wrong choice. I said yes to the wrong person. And yes, I'm going through the pain, but I'm not going to stay here. I'm not going to remain here. I'm going to forgive myself for my errors and I am going to move forward. Thank you so much, Dr. Naomi. Thank you for all the amazing speakers already. And we have one more speaker to go today as we begin to wrap up this session. I'm going to introduce her and I'm going to bring her up. I know we have more, there's still more emotions to feel today. So get ready, get ready. Get ready to feel some more because one more story is coming to hit our screen right now. I'll introduce her and then I'll bring her up on stage. Our next guest is Adiola Kingsley James. Adiola Kingsley James is a certified therapist, clinical hypnotherapist, and transformational coach with credentials from the School of Rapid Transformational Therapy in the UK. A member of global and local professional associations, she is a best-selling author of Step Out, Stepmom. Ooh, okay. Step Out, Stepmom, addressing issues surrounding blended families. Adiola is a sought after speaker known for empowering individuals to transform fear into fearless action and create the life of their dreams boldly and unapologetically. Who is ready to be unapologetic about their stories, their journeys, and the change and transformation that they are about to see? Please, ladies and gentlemen, if there are any in the building, I present to you Adiola Kingsley James on the stage. Hello, 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 hello.
Afternoon.
Good
Good morning,
afternoon.
from people.
Well,
Thank you so much, energetic EJ. Gang. Hey,
again.
pass some of this your energy my way. I beg you. I need it.
The stage is
If
yours,
it
ma.
was not
Please
the love
blow us
of my
away.
life, I would definitely not be here today. But Kiki and everybody here has brought me here because I'm okay. So I'm excited to be here, and I'm sure you can tell from my smile and everything. I have listened to. I missed the first couple of speakers, but I listened to Naomi, and I know her personally, so I know that she's a beacon of hope to others, and I'm sure all the other phenomenal speakers are the same. Just by listening to some of the comments that people are posting and conversations that EJ and Naomi has had, I listened to those. I know that they really, really did share a lot of goodies. And to the sister who her daughter is not feeling too well, she will wake up and she will run again today. So I'm grateful for everybody who's here. I'm thankful because you could have chosen not to be here. You could have chosen to be anywhere else at parties, sleeping, eating, gossiping, something. But you chose to be here because you understand the importance of growing. And so I celebrate you and I salute you. Now, before I go into anything, I want to pick from a little of what Naomi just mentioned, and she talked about unforgiveness. Now, I want everybody, I can't see everybody, but I want to believe that you can hear me, and I'm going to pretend that I can see you. I want to do a very short exercise so that you can understand something yourself, because words don't really teach, experiences do, and I want you to experience something quickly. So wherever you are, if you are driving, don't join this exercise, do it later. But if you are calm and in a place where you can close your eyes, I want you to close your eyes. Right? I want everybody who can. If you are driving, you are carrying something heavy, don't close your eyes. But if you are calm and seated down like us, please close your eyes. I want to do a quick exercise with all of us. And I want you to, if you're closing your eyes, I would assume that you're closing your eyes now. I want you to take a deep breath. We're going to do 3 deep breaths, okay? I want you to take a deep breath in, and I'll count when I say take the deep breath in, and I'll count you out when I say you should take the deep breath. But we're going to do a different kind of deep breath. Your deep breath will be through your mouth, and then you breathe out through your nose. So you go and breathe out through your nose. Who's ready? I want to believe that you're ready. So we're going to do 3 times, okay? So first deep breath. Take a deep breath in through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Now breathe out through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to do that 2 more times. Take another deep breath in through your nose, through your mouth, sorry. In. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. Now breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one last time. Breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2. And breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep your eyes closed. Now I want you to imagine something that somebody has done to really hurt you. They said something terrible to you. They shouted at you. They lied at you. Someone cheated on you. Someone betrayed you. Someone stole something. Like Naomi, you ran out of the house. Something really terrible that has happened to you in your life. And you can remember it just like it happened right now. You can feel it. You can smell it. You can taste it. If it's something poisonous that you ate, you can hear it, and you're there right now. I want you to feel the feelings as though it's happening right now. So you call that memory as though it were right now. And the anger is welling up inside you right now. The pain is welling up inside you. You have a knot in your chest, a knot in your throat, a knot in your stomach. You're maybe even beginning to sweat right now because you're really, really feeling the anger and the pain that you've been through. Yes, feel it. Exactly. It's happening right now. Now I want you to release that feeling. Release it. Now I want you to shake your hands like this. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Shake out that feeling. Shake out that painful feeling. Just shake out your hands with me. And if you can stand and shake it all out, or everything, shake it out. Now I want you to keep your eyes closed. Don't come out of your eyes closed. Now I want you to sit down quietly again. I want you to remember something that happened to you that was so nice. Somebody gave you a gift. Maybe it's your daughter or your son when you had them. One of your most beautiful experiences in your life. Most beautiful experiences in your life. You got married for some people. You got a child for some people who waited long. Your business just started. It could be your pet. Something that whenever you think about it, it brings a huge smile on your face, and you feel that it spreads from your heart, and you can feel it right now. It's spreading from your heart into your entire body. And for some people, you're smiling. This big smile has come up on your face because you have started your internal love engine just by smiling. And I want you to, if the smile is coming, allow it. If it becomes a laughter, allow it, because now I know that you're really feeling it and experiencing it. And I want you to act like it's there, happening right now. She's just walked in. He has just walked in. He just said, "Will you marry me?" He just said, "I want us to go somewhere together." I'm sorry, you've heard it. Something that really brings that deep sense of belonging and love to your heart. Okay, now I want you to open your eyes. Can you tell me the difference? And I want people to type it in chat. I want to see the chats here. How did you feel when you were thinking the negative thought? I want you to type it in chat. What happened to your body when you were thinking? EJ, come up with me so that you can read up some of the messages that you might see that I don't see. Thank you. EJ, you go first because I can see you. How did it feel when you were thinking about something negative?
It was a bit stressful.
Right. How did you,
Yeah.
how was your breathing? How did you start breathing?
I mean, because you're recalling something that is making you angry, so there's the increase in the heartbeat, just like if
Very
you're
good.
angry, like
Very good. How would you want to go through that experience all over
nah,
and over and over
nah,
again
nah.
repetitively?
I
How
don't
did
want
it
to
feel
call
when
it
you started to think positively?
good stuff. Yeah, you're calmer. It was calmer.
Yes.
I was
How was your
smiling. I was almost dancing.
So is anybody sending anything that you can just read out for the difference
Yes,
in the
the
negative
comments are,
conversation? Yes. What are the comments?
yeah, they haven't come in yet. I think
Okay, they haven't come in yet.
probably
Okay,
still
so for
typing.
those,
Yes.
just so now, let's focus on the negative feelings. Can you see what you just thought about did to your body? Right? Who is suffering it? Is it you or the person that you're thinking about?
It's you.
It's you. Does the person know that you are even suffering it whilst you're suffering it?
Nah.
No. Now, what it has also done is released all kinds of negative toxins into all your glands and your organs. So what will start happening is that your liver will shut down and you'll be running to the hospital. Your kidneys will shut down. Your heart will shut down. I'm going to read something quickly so that we understand the importance of letting things go and understand. And that's why I said experiences would only teach you. If I say it, Naomi says it, and people keep saying it from today till tomorrow, it will make no difference. But when you
Right.
also understand that feelings like abandonment, betrayal, being lost, having insecurity would affect your heart or your small intestine, it deposits itself there. Anxiety, despair, disgust, nervousness, worry would attack your spleen or your stomach, because that's the seat of all emotions. I'm talking crying, confusion, depression, sadness, sorrow would attach itself to your lungs or your colon. My father died of lung cancer because he was heartbroken. His daughter died and he didn't know what to do with it. And so he died not too long after she died from lung cancer. Then when you're thinking about anger, bitterness, guilt, depression, frustration, you're playing with your liver and your gallbladder. Then I'm going to go just two more and I'll stop there. Blaming, dread, horror, conflict, feeling unsupported attacks your kidneys or your bladder. The last one I'm going to share today. Humiliation, jealousy, lust, shame. Touching your sexual organs or your glands. Right? So that's what you are suffering, not the other person. So now, the question again is forgiveness for you or for someone else?
It's for you,
That's the question.
apparently.
Right? Because it's you that will be going to pay doctor money. You will go, doctor will even tell you, I've done all the tests. There's nothing wrong with you. Because really, there's nothing physically wrong with you. But your mind is sick. Your body is the instrument of your mind. Your body will be sick, period. Sad thing, unfortunate part is that you cannot determine what part it will affect because you will implode. You don't have control over where it would affect. There was a time I was so sad. Should I tell you what it affected? My eyes. My eyes. I started having floaters in my eyes until I sat down and did a lot of introspection and realized what it was. And I took that sadness out of me and my eyes became okay. So there's a direct correlation to what's happening in your mind with what's happening in your body, period. You don't need to like it. You don't need to understand it. You don't need to believe it. It makes no difference. It's like the law of gravity. What goes up must come down.
Must come down.
I haven't started my speech yet. I haven't
Wow.
started my story yet. I just wanted to deposit that in your spirit, guys, so that when people are not just outside this conversation, when you sit down and you're thinking to yourself, I will not forgive that my father, that my mother, that my brother, my uncle. Yes, rape is painful. Oh, yes. But what you're doing to yourself is more painful than the rape itself, because the rape has come and gone. But the suffering, you have continued it. And the suffering, you are the only one suffering it. I wish the other person could feel it whilst you are suffering it. It's like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. It's impossible. So I hope that experience, without being here on your own, you can just sit down. Every time you will not forgive, you will remember this experience and you will say, I will forgive because my body has to be
whole.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you're back now. You're back now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay, fantastic. So let me share a little bit of my story. I mean, they don't give me microphone and Kiki knows, so maybe that's why she put me last, because I can sit down here for the next 4 hours and just teach, right? But today we're talking about Kiki, and I first of all want to celebrate her and this book that she has written, The Audacity to Rebuild. That it takes an audacity to be able to rebuild, and that's the truth. And that audacity will definitely start from a decision to wanting to rebuild. And so I'm grateful to you, Kiki, for taking a decision to wanting to rebuild your life, knowing that there are other people who might hear your story and pick from it, because everybody's story is really not for you. It's for the other person or for other people to learn from. So this book will be a legacy whilst you're alive, and hopefully when you are not, because you can't really control what happens when you're not here. But whilst you're here, we celebrate you, we honor you, and we say thank you very much for putting your life story in a book for people to learn and pick from and grow from. Posterity will remember you for life. Thank you, my sister, and my queen soul sister. So once again, my name is Adeola Kingsley James, and I'm going to really, just give you a quick, brief story about who I am. So I tell people that I am air. I give people a reason to live, love, and breathe. I am light. I bring clarity, understanding, and awareness. Like a lighthouse that I am, I guide people safely to their true meaning. I am love. I love because it's who I am, and I'm an example on earth that God exists. I also say that I'm a life giver, a kingmaker, and a love being. Now, I'll tell you whilst I'm going into my story why I introduced myself like this. Because whether you like it or not, who you say you are is who you're going to show up as. Now, what do? I ignite the power within human beings to craft the life of their dreams. I then guide them to live it boldly and unapologetically. I help transform uncertainty into purpose, fear into fearless action, and hesitation into unwavering confidence. My promise to you is we will sit, you will speak, we will ignite, and you will shine. But has it always been like this? Honestly, no. So let me share a little bit of a story with you. And I remember this day so well. It was February 2020. I had just been fired from my job, and that job was the only thing that gave me air to breathe, because at this point in time, I'd been a new mother. I had 2 stepkids and a husband that I knew how to do nothing with. Let me put it that way. I escaped creating, or I didn't know how to create a relationship with any of these people. Everything, honestly, at this point were in shambles. And I'm talking maybe 6 years ago, 6 years into our marriage. I had distanced myself from everybody around me because I was afraid that people would see my inadequacies. Now, on top of everything that I had lost or I had not built, because I take responsibility for it, even in my not knowingness, this thing that I could now hold on to, because I will run away from home for 2 weeks just to be away from everybody, and I can just be by myself, wallowing in my self-pity and my self-loathing and my self-condemnation. Finally, this one too has been taken. So I had nowhere to hide. I was forced to face my family, and more importantly, I was forced to face myself. However, I want to go a little bit deeper because this is where I like to start my story from, but it goes way back into childhood. And unfortunately, our nature and nurture is the one that can either make us become successful or take away the opportunities of becoming successful from us if we don't do anything about it. Now, we're here because we all have audacity. We're here because we all have bravery and we're bold. So I'm not afraid for anybody here, whether you had a rough start or not. Now, as a child, I was a middle child. I was a second child. I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel like I belonged. I had an older sister. I had a younger brother who was the only boy. And then there was a younger sister who was the last child. And last child, in my mind, preferential treatment. So me, I fall nowhere. So I felt out of place. I felt invisible. And I felt completely unloved. And I don't know whether anybody is here who's felt that way, who's felt like, you know what, nobody sees me. I've got to work so hard to allow people notice me. I've got to please people so that I can become seen or even loved or even noticed. Now, as children, also, because we crave connection, right? There are four predominant roles children play. The first role is the carer child. And this is not in terms of relevance. I'm just sharing four predominant roles. There are more, but I'm only going to focus on four today. There's the carer child. This is the child that cares for everybody. Maybe they have a sickly parent. They're the ones that look after the parents. Then the parents tell the child, "Oh, you're our mother or you're our father," because we do that a lot. And we then say, "So you now take on the responsibility of looking after everybody." Question is, who looks after you? The second child is the sickly child. This is the child that every time mommy and daddy are not available and I fall sick, they show up. So that then tells you and programs you. And as I keep saying some of these things, maybe you can find yourself in some of these characters, because sometimes we also oscillate between each characters depending on age. And I'll share how I move from one to the other. Right. And so the sickly child, because now there's this special cream that they'll rub on your hand. Oh, the doctors are touching you, the nurse is touching you. So you're getting seen in your own way, or because this is a role that you're playing. The third role is the brilliant child. Every time you come back from school with great grades, your parents are telling you how fantastic and how phenomenal. In fact, they'll call you daddy's child because you are brilliant. If you fail, you are mommy's child. And everybody wants to be daddy's heartbeat. Everybody wants daddy to love them. So they want to stay brilliant. And the last child is the rebellious child. That's the child that when they say go right, that child is going left. Because if you go right, you are falling into normalcy like everybody else. But if you go the other way, they will notice me. So I've got to go the other way so that people will notice me, because when I'm in the midst of everybody, I am not noticed. Now, who can guess which one I was? Yes, your guess is right. I was a rebellious child. I was the one that went the other way. My father, in fact, there was nothing I didn't do. I stole. I will run away from school. My father will make sure that he takes me to school. In fact, my father made sure that I stayed in Nigeria to do my university. All my siblings studied abroad. He said, because if I let you go, you will not go to school. Maybe he was right. Maybe he was wrong. We will never know, because I'm where I am right now. I did all kinds of things to get attention from my parents, because every time I went the other way, my parents, my father especially, who was always busy, was home trying to correct my behavior. And of course, we all know the only thing that they knew how to do then, predominant parents, African parents, was to beat you, because they wanted to punish you and break you. They thought it was discipline, but it was punishment. And they wanted to break you, clip your wings. That's what some people will say. Some parents will say. So it pushed me further and further away from people. Now, on top of it, I wasn't brilliant. I even hated school. If you left me, I won't go to school, right? So I grew up believing that I could do no good and will become nobody, because that's what everybody said around me, right? If I did something, everybody will be praising me as if, fine, at least Jola did it. So that made me know that, I'm a nobody, and I didn't want to prove anybody wrong. I will stay a nobody, but I will be a thorn in your flesh as a nobody. As I grew older, rebellion no longer served me, being a rebel. So I changed roles because it became Omo Emakpare once I got into university. So, excuse me, I adopted the role as a carer. Now, a carer, you are the empath. You are the one that everybody runs to for succor. You are the savior. You are the pleaser. I used to call myself Voltron, defender of the universe slash Jesus's junior sister, because now everybody, I could heal everybody's sickness, but I couldn't heal my own. Now, didn't they say, physician, heal thyself? Well, I didn't have anything left to heal myself, because at this point, every time people wanted things, I would show up, and when they're hailing me, I will be excited and I will feel like I am seen and I belong. I don't know if there's anybody here who can connect with what I'm saying, but that's really what happened. Now I'm going to fast forward to marriage. Excuse me, I'm in class. No, just wait when I finish. Thank you very much. Excuse me, my Smalley is asking for something. Excuse me. Go and ask Auntie Blessing. She will answer you. Okay, so I moved into marriage. Now I married a widower. So can you already see my patterns of caring and being a people pleaser and a savior? Why would I be attached or attracted to a widower? Right? This is a man in pain with children in pain. So who else to save him but me? Pam, pam, param, pam, param. Right? Voltron, defender of the universe. I was also 34 at this time. And you know, at 34, you're already finished. Your eggs have dried. Your stomach is, there was everything wrong with you. Every party that you meet people, they're telling you how, oh, you know, something is wrong with you just because you're not married. So I met this fantastic guy who actually was my friend even way before this, to be honest. I knew him for a long time. And if anybody had said that I would marry him, I would have said it's impossible, right? But, well, we say impossible, God says possible for whatever reasons. So at this time, I was very, should I say, alone and lonely at the same time, even if I had so much going on around. In fact, I coined a word called a functioning traumatist. I functioned through my trauma. You would see me and use me as prayer points, because when we go out, I'm the life of the party. I work in television. So, you know, I'm consistently in one project or the other, with one celebrity or the other. So everything was very good for me, and, well, seemingly very good for me. Let me throw that out there. Now, on top of it, now my husband and I didn't know anything about therapy. You know, so we just thought, oh, we love each other, let's keep it moving. Now, forgetting that he's never been married to a woman who is not the mother of his children. Same thing, I've never been married to a man who is married with two children. The children themselves. Davida, please. No, you can't. Sorry, guys. Davida, please, outside. Thank you. Close that door. No, you can't. Thank you. Bye. Sorry, once again. So I've never been married to this man. The children also have never had a mother who is not their biological mother. But who takes cognizance of what happens to children? Nobody, because children are nobodies. We can trample on them, however, we command them and they do whatever we ask them to do. So let's move on. The in-laws, the outlaws, the family members, the friends and well-wishers from outside in. And on top of all of this, I was completely broken in and out. What helped? One night, I was in my room, my door closed, my lights off. I was lying down in bed and I was drenched in my tears. I literally used to run away from everybody in my house. I was not clinically diagnosed, but I know that I was going through a deep bout of depression. Like I said, I didn't go to hospital to be diagnosed, you know, where we were Google diagnosed, as a lot of us are finding diseases of who we think we are on Google. So Dr. Google diagnosed my own depression at that time. And so my daughter came into my room, the one that is coming here right now, that just walked in here years ago. And she said to me, Mommy, I've been looking for you all over the house. I said, here I am, baby. Why are you looking for me? She said, I want to ask you a question. Mommy, are you happy or are you sad? I said, I'm happy. She said, then why are you crying? I said, because I'm happy to see you. Now type in chat anybody who knows what it feels like within you when you are lying. You just know. Just write, I know, if you're here. Just write, I know that I'm lying. I know the feeling. And so my daughter looked at me for a bit and just, she knew I was lying. I knew I was lying. And she hugged me and she said, Mommy, I want you to know that I love you. The hopelessness and the helplessness in that child's eyes that day made me take a decision to say, today is the last day this child will find me like this. Last day. Even if I don't do it for me, I will do it for her. I would give her the opportunity to live, and not just live, but thrive and flourish. I would give her the opportunity to have a life of meaning and purpose. So, as they say also, when the teacher is ready, when the student is ready, the teacher arrives. So here's what happened to me, because I think I made that decision. I met somebody online who was an American lady. Her name is Lisa Nichols, and I'm sure some people know of her here. And I looked for her. I saw a video that she somewhere, and that video spoke to my heart so much. I said to myself, I am this woman's mentee. This woman is my mentor. So I looked out for her. So she had a course that she was doing. Fast forward to when I did the course. Fast forward to when she asked me if, and I will never forget that question, Adiola, if I asked you to do anything, would you do it? That was her question to me. And I said to her, I would do everything you ask me to do and then some. So she smiled and she said, I'm going to make you a promise. If you do everything I ask you to do, 1 year from now, you'll be using binoculars to look at your life to see how far you have come. And that was music to my ears. So I joined her programs. Whilst I was doing her programs, I learned several things about myself, but I also knew that I needed therapy. So off the back of that, I met someone else also during her program, and I reached out to her, and she told me that she was a rapid transformational therapist. I said to her, I said, whatever you're selling, I'm buying, because there's a piece you carry that I deserve and I desire with every fiber of my being. And I don't know if there's anybody here who has felt that before. You just see somebody and you say, there's something about this person that I like. If you're here, type in chat. I also know. If there's anybody here that has seen something about somebody, just type in chat. I also know. And so this lady introduced the package to me. I picked it on, even if I rejected it at first. It did so much for me that I said, I am going to go back and train. If this could help me this much, I know how many people, especially in Nigeria, that I can help. And so that's how I went back and I became a rapid transformational therapist myself and a clinical hypnotherapist. And that's how my journey began. Now, whilst I was doing some of the courses that I was doing, I'm going to share 5 things that I realized that were shackles that held me down. And I'm going to share 5 things I had to do to get me out of those shackles. The first thing I realized about myself and my life story up until this time, and by that time, I was 40 years old when this whole thing started for me. The first thing I realized was I was a complainer. All you needed to do was ask me, Adiola, how are you? I will tell you how everybody in this world is a bastard except me. I will tell you how, this is happening, that is happening. And then I realized that I had to change that. The second thing was that I was a constant criticizer. I criticized everything without actually getting knowledge or information. The third thing was I compared myself to everybody and everything without knowing that comparison is the thief of all joy. The fourth thing was that I was a natural catastrophizer, which means that I only saw negative things happen I never saw positive things happen. And the fifth thing was that I was competing with everybody else but myself. Now, 5 things that I needed to do to help change this. The first thing was my changing my identity. The identity I carried was I will be nothing. I had to change it. And that's why I started this conversation with where I started. I am air, because that was the identity that I picked for myself and chose to live out. The second thing that I needed to do was get clear as to who I am and whose I am. The third thing that I needed to do was start to create the life of my dreams, because I understood, and I still understand, for me to live the life that I want to live, I've got to create it, because God has created me and given me power to create my dreams. Is no longer his job. God has done the impossible. Now is left for me to do the possible. And creating my dreams today is my possibility. The fourth thing was to create or to engage in community of people that I could consistently learn from, because I learned if you have 4 foolish friends, you didn't count well. You are 5 because you are the 5th one. And if you have 4 wise friends, you didn't count well once again, you're 5 because you're the 5th one. Because the Bible says bad association spoils useful habits. Whether you are strong or not, you will fall, because what will start to happen is it will break your resistance, and you will start to do the things that you once said, God forbid, I will never do. Your community of people, and you're a sum total of the people you spend time with. And the last thing I had to do was take action. Now, this is where I'm going to end this. You can attend all the conferences that are calling you unstoppable or unapologetic, authentic, all the big buzzwords that we like to hear now. If you don't do anything from this conference that you have heard with people speaking today, you would still be as hopeless as you were before you started this call by tomorrow. You can say amen and be praying and going to speak in tongues. It will move you nowhere if you do not now take action from what they have asked you to do. So we're saying, buy this book, read this book, implement the things that this book is talking about, so that you can get the experience of it. It's no longer Kiki's experience. It now becomes your own experience, and you're able to say, okay, when I applied this, this was the result. When I did this, remember, I said I had to do a course to know that I needed therapy. I had to do a course to know that I had some of these things. If I never did that course, I would be as hopeless as I was that night when my daughter came to my room to tell me that I was crying. So it's not about the motivation or the ginger or any of those things. It's about taking action. We're wrapping up 2024. Where you are today, is it where you wished you were on January 1st, 2024? Those people that went to church and had a whole long list of, this is who I will be, this is what I will do, and you were praying and kabashing. Have you done 1/10 of it? Did you take action on any of it? I promise you, 10 years will meet you here in the same place, and you'll be kabashing, and God will collect the prayer, because he inhabits in your praises. But you will go nowhere, and you will stay where you are. So I give you audacity today to take action and make a move today, because without that moving, you will head nowhere. So remember, identity, clarity, community, creativity, and last but not the least, if not the most, take action. My name is Adiola Kingsley James. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for having me here.
It's oh my goodness. Whoa. Yeah, you're such a good storyteller. We could sit all day. You're just listening to you break out the story and just when are you going to do your own movie?
Very soon, shortly.
Such an amazing journey you've been on. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love it. And honestly, the last point is just the mother of it all, because we can attend all the conferences in the world. As a matter of fact, we can pay the best coaches in the world. If we do not take the action, the corresponding actions, nothing is going to happen. we are just going to remain the same. And it is sad, especially, for people of faith. It is sad that, we then have this kabashing mentality and not take action, remain the same, and just bring some level of,
No, we
I don't know what
we
to call
blame the
it.
devil.
Yoruba
Devil
people
is
will
the
say
devil's fault.
iwosi to the name of
Is
the
the
Lord.
devil's
Honestly. But the devil is busy doing his own work, ensuring that you don't take action. And you are supposed to counter that by taking action. Thank you so much, Coach Diola, for this amazing session and for the insight you shared with us today. And thank you for living again. Thank you for starting again. Thank you for making that decision and taking that action that night that changed the trajectory of your life. And thank you for sharing that story with us today. God bless you. Awesome. All righty. Woo, what a fantastic day we've had. I really do hope that you've learned a lot. I'm going to bring back our host to, wrap up this session. It's been a fantastic time today. I really hope that you're leaving here pumped up, but not just motivated or inspired, but you're determining and making a decision to take one action, even if it's one action. And if that action is just I'm going to get a copy of this book and I'm going to read it and I'm going to review it and I'm going to implement some of the things in it and use the implementation, the result that I get from the implementation to create a review off of it. That is a definite action. That is specific. That is something that is measurable, because then you can say, okay, if I buy this book today and I finish it before the end of December and I implement one or two things from it, I can already see the difference and then build up on it as I go on into 2025. That is a definite decision. But if you leave it at, oh my God, it was a fantastic conversation, oh my goodness, and you leave it at that, nothing is going to change. So we challenge you, just like Coach Adiola just said, challenge you to gain the audacity to take action. I'll bring up our host, Madam Kiki. Are you there? The network, I think your network is okay. Fantastic. You
I
are
am
there.
right here,
Thank you
right
so
here, right
much.
here, right here.
Yes.
Oh my God, what a day. And yes, I did put Adiola at the end because I wanted us to feel the fire, feel the energy, feel, I knew she was going to take us on that journey. I knew it. And I intentionally put her there because that's exactly where she needed to be. To wrap this up, Adiola, thank you. We call ourselves Soul Sister. I do appreciate you. Thank you for always, and I mean really, always showing up for me. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for saying, you know what? I come first. Thank you so much. I'd like to say a very big thank you. Wow. As I sit here today, I've been listening, and there's one thing that is constant with all the speakers. Take action. Take action. We can stay here, bring 2 million speakers, do all the aspire to perspire to inspire to, but if you do not take action, nothing is going to change. And that's just the reality. If I didn't take action, if Adiola didn't take action, if Dr. Naomi didn't take action, if Enifome didn't take action, if Oluwaseun didn't take action, we'll still be there crying over split milk and doing absolutely nothing. And so take action. I am deeply humbled and profoundly grateful as we conclude this transformative journey that started on the 25th, the book tour, and this virtual summit. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone who played a part in making this book tour and summit a resounding success. To the organizers, the behind the scene, to all the amazing speakers, to my MC, energetic EJ, for energy, that's what I call her. To my team members, Rosemary, that's my executive assistant, who has worked tirelessly, who, through the night, day, made sure that this launch, which we, by the way, had to move the date forward. And so we've been working on this for a while, but we're so grateful. And I just want to thank Rosemary Ben Bassi. I'd like to thank Precious. I'd like to thank everyone who has worked behind the scene, the publishing company, Warrital, I'd like to thank them. To everyone who has purchased the book, to those who have pre-ordered, to those who have bought. We've had some people buy 10, and we're going to be putting it out there, telling us, give some to widows, give some to this. And so we're excited about the possibilities of what this book can actually become. And I see it, I see it already. And, in putting this book together, one thing I said was, use me as a vessel. I want to be I want to be for signs and wonders. And I want, people who are at the verge of giving up, say, you know what? Just because I will take action, I'm not going to give up. Giving up no longer becomes an option. And I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful to everyone, to my family, to my mom. I mean, if you read the book, I'm sure that in between smiling, crying, you're going to have a mixture of emotional roller coaster, and that's also okay. And in the book, there are different laws that we put there: the law of loss, the law of pain, the law of building, forging your own path. We're not letting the past hold us back, but rather we're moving forward. So I'd like to say thank you to my family, to my husband, to my children, to my mom, to my siblings for their unwavering support, to my friends, who even sometimes I'm not available because I was putting the book together. I just want to say thank you to everyone. Everyone has been a pillar of strength one way or the other. To the widows, to the entrepreneurs, to the dreamers who attended, your courage to show up and engage really inspires me beyond words. During the book tour, I was blown away by the people that attended and the feedback. And finally, to everyone who reached the audacity to rebuild, thank you for allowing my words touch your lives. Above all, I would like to give glory to God for his faithfulness. For his faithfulness. Ezebube, see how far you've brought me. See how far you've brought me. I would like to thank him throughout this journey. Without him, none of this would have been possible. He brought me, he formed me, he knows exactly what he created me for. And even when I was stubborn, that I didn't want to follow the path that he had mapped out for me, he found a tsunami. He brought a volcano. He made sure there was a disruption in my life to redirect me. And I am grateful for that. Because when we see our children going the wrong path, we don't leave them. We don't say, go do what you want to do. We find ways, just like Adiola said. They didn't let her travel. Why? Because God knows what she would have become, right? We wouldn't know now. But they didn't leave her be. And that's the same way God doesn't leave her be. So whatever you're going through now, I want you to know that it is not the end. It is the beginning of a new journey, of a new story. And it's your choice. You have the choice. So as you leave this space today, I want to remind you that your story is not over. You have within you the power to rebuild, to rise from the ashes, and to transform the pain that you're going through right now into purpose. Remember, audacity is not just about daring to dream. It is about having the courage to act, to rebuild what was broken, and to stand tall despite the odds. And that's why this theme is so important. Against all odds, let it be the beginning of a new chapter in your life. Whether you're navigating loss or betrayal or simply seeking your next breakthrough, know that you have the strength to overcome. You are not defined by what you have lost, but how you choose to rise, how you choose to respond to the things that you have lost. And I want you to go forth with boldness. Go out there and take action. Because if you listen and you don't do anything, nothing is going to change. Better days are ahead of you. And this book is a blessing to you and to everyone around you. Whether you're building or rebuilding, you deserve this book. So please do get it for yourself, get it for your loved ones, get it for your family members. Like Dr. Naomi said, you don't know what people are going through. We don't look like what we've been through. And a lot of people have covered it well, masked it well. We're all wearing a mask. And people are covering it well. Some people won't tell you what they're going through, but this book is going to bless them. So get a copy for yourself. Get for your friends, your loved ones. And I will see you on this. I can't wait to read from you. I mean, gotten a couple of feedback and it's exciting, emotional and exciting. But I can't wait to hear from you. I can't wait to get your story. I can't wait to see you at the top where you truly belong. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you. I value your time and we value you. Thank you so much. To everyone, I just want to say thank you. In case I didn't get to mention your name, thank you so much. You all are important. And I just want you to know that I value you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Our energetic EJ, over to you. Our EJ is hungry. Hungry and tired because this your yawning is
Thank
not
you
from
so
here.
much.
I know that it's late over there as well. Thank you so much for doing this. I know.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Kiki. It's been a blessing. It's been a blessing being here. Thank you for having me on board, and thank you for making me be a part of this experience. Is such a fantastic time out with the amazing women that you've selected together. As we close out this session, I would love, guys, to just read out something like a summary of the book as we close out the session. This is why you should get a copy. All right, get a copy for yourself, or get a copy, get some copies, and don't go anywhere. Just listen to a couple, just like what's it called now? Listen to what's the word? A summary of this book and why you should get a copy of it. All right, I'm going to do that shortly. Right. In The Audacity to Rebuild, Kiki Okewale redefines what it means to rise after failing. That this isn't just a story about recovery, it's a bold manifesto for women who are ready to build something extraordinary from their life's wreckage. This book introduces the Audacity framework, 8 transformative principles that form the backbone of true reinvention. A, ambition, daring to dream beyond your current circumstances. You, unleash, breaking free from self imposed limitations. D, determination, staying committed when the path gets tough. A, affirmations, building an unshakable belief in your worth. C, courage, taking action despite fear. I, innovation, creating new possibilities from past experiences. T, transformation, embracing change as a catalyst for growth. Y, yielding, learning to flow with life's season while staying true to your path. Through raw and honest storytelling, Kiki Okewale weaves her personal journey of loss, resilience, and triumph with practical wisdom. She shows how her father's death shattered her privileged world and how her mother's unwavering love became the foundation for her rebuilding. Each chapter feels like an intimate conversation with a friend who has walked through fire and emerged stronger. But this isn't just a memoir, it's a practical guide that introduces groundbreaking concepts like the law of privilege and the law of loss, revealing how life's biggest challenges often hide our greatest opportunities for growth. The Audacity to Rebuild speaks directly to women who refuse to be defined by their setbacks. It's for those who are ready to turn their pain into power, their failures into fuel, and their struggles into strength. This book doesn't just show you how to bounce back, it shows you how to bounce forward, higher, and stronger than before. And this, my dear friends, is another reason why you should get a copy of The Audacity to Rebuild and read and experience the transformative power that has been shared in a storytelling format. Thank you so very much for being a part of this summit today. It's been a pleasure being your host, and I'm super, super excited that you had a fantastic time, because I hope you did. I did. And I know that all our guests today really dropped gems that you can come back to. So you can come back to this channel and watch again and again and get the copy of the book. Remember, the links to the books are the links here to the book. The different platforms are in the chat. You can come back there, or you can follow World Tribe. You can follow Kiki Okewale. Click the link in her bio to get yourself a copy today. God bless you. And this is me saying goodbye. Thank you very much for being a part of this. Compliments of the season to you. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year in advance. We are now officially in that season. So thank you so much for joining us. Till we see you again, this is me signing out saying, God bless you. See you. Bye-bye.